You've been tuning in to the Inside Pool Extreme Press Box. Well, this is Inside Pool Extreme Instruction. You're joining me here at the Chalk Off Arena. We're at the 2007 U.S. Open 9-Ball Championships in Chesapeake, Virginia. We're your hosts, Sam Diab and Mike Fieldhammer.
Hi, I'm Tony Robles, and I'm at the 2007 U.S. Open 9-Ball Championships. And now for the tip of the day. What I'm going to do here is demonstrate how to shoot a proper draw shot. The biggest mistake that most players make is they bring the cue stick back and forward, and they try to hit the cue ball low, but what they don't realize is that as they're coming forward, they drop the back elbow and the tip comes up as it's about to strike the cue ball. It's the biggest mistake I see most people make on a draw shot. So what you want to do is make sure that if you go back at a certain angle, let's say a 3-degree angle, you need to make sure that you go forward at the same exact 3-degree angle as you strike the cue ball. And once you do that, you will hit the cue ball exactly where you intended to, and therefore execute a perfect draw shot.
Thanks for joining us.
Make sure you check out InsidePoolMag.com for up-to-date tournament coverage, photo galleries, and exclusive podcasts from NYCGrind.com.
What's up? It's your boy Jerry T, and along with me is my good friend Larry Ross. Larry, I'm glad that you spent a couple minutes with me. It's always a pleasure to see you.
Always a pleasure to see you, Jerry.
No question. I've been seeing Larry around at all these professional events and local events since I was a young kid, since I was 12, 13 years old. And Larry's certainly a fixture of the pool world. What brings you back, coming, tournament after tournament, event after event?
I'm always with my man Parika all the time. Right. But aside from that, everybody is playing reasonably well at this tournament, and the game has gotten to a point where 9-ball is really becoming a little too easy for the quality of players we have today. And I think I mentioned this to you before, Jerry. I think somebody has to take the bull by the horn and make the game 10-ball. I think it'll ultimately be better for everybody when you get the level of play that you see here.
So for Parika, and you've traveled around Parika for quite some time, how does Parika view the game of 9-ball? Does he look at it just like it's just a cakewalk?
He looks at it, he looks at it not as a toy, but he looks at it as one game at a time, one ball at a time, and that's how all the Filipinos look at the game.
So pretty much Parika looks at the game at one ball at a time, one game at a time, and he doesn't get too ahead of himself.
Exactly. And I asked him at one point, how does he bear down and play hard for the money? And he said to me, it's one game at a time, and you play hard as you can till you get to the money. Then you have to play harder to continue in the money.
Okay, well, I like that.
He's been doing that for a lot of years.
Okay, so in a nutshell, I definitely want to get your thoughts on the brackets, matchups, all that. But before we get into that, help the people who don't really know Parika know a little bit about Parika in 60 seconds.
Jose Parika does have more titles and wins than anybody playing the game today, and probably anybody that played the game before. Total wins I'm talking about. Of course, there was a time when they said, and it was true, he was the best money player in the world. I think most people will agree to that even today. He's a little older now, a little slower now, but he can still get it done. And he happens to be one of the nicest people you ever want to be around.
He can still get it done, ladies and gentlemen. He can still get it done, no question about that.
Right. And hopefully he maybe get it done here.
So how's he doing so far? He's still on the winner's bracket.
He's on the winner's side, and that brings us to this evening. At 7 p.m. he'll be playing Bustamante, which he doesn't have too bad a record against. He'll be playing, and then in the other games you have Corteza playing Kiamco,
which is going to be
good match. And they moved the match with Alcano and Reyes to 9. It was a schedule of 7. They moved it to 9 in the pit under the lights. And to replace that at 7, Ulrich will be playing Ernesto Dominguez. And that's going to be one super game also.
Wow, wow. I mean, all those matchups are truly, I mean, you got to be here at the 2007 U.S. Open. There's no question. The Chalk-Off Arena it's like the pit in a way. It's the pit, right?
It's the pit. It is the pit.
It is the pit.
It is the pit. Right. And most of these fellows are pretty nice. They're nice to be around. They just have a nice way about them for the most part. But of course, when they're on the table, enemies till the last ball falls.
Yeah, no question. So you heard it from Larry Ross, been around the game for a long time. Basically, the bottom line is the Filipino contingent is here in full force. There's some unbelievable matchups here. And look out for Jose Perica. He's not done yet. He's still bringing the heat on the winner's side in the U.S. Open. He wants to let everyone know that he's not done with this game, no question. He's gunning for the green jacket. So from Larry Ross and Jerry T on the NYC grind, we're done. We'll see you later on.
Here's some breaking news. Inside Pool Magazine can now bring the world's greatest players right to your front door. Subscribe to Inside Pool for the annual price of just $19.99. Each issue is action-packed with high-impact photos, tournament coverage, in-depth player profiles, and much, much more.